And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
And welcome everybody to another wonderful Monday evening here talking some Eagles. So we have a good amount to talk about tonight as something may or may not have just went down. So we have some things to dive into.
Yeah, we do.
If you've been living under a rock for the last hour or just like normal people, just couldn't get to your social medias or whatever, the Eagles have officially made a trade with the New Orleans Saints, which kind of came out of nowhere. There wasn't a lot of buzz. I know we had talked about it for a little while about how the Eagles wanted to take one of their 3 first-rounders and trade back and potentially into some future picks. So that is exactly what Howie and the Eagles have done. The Eagles have traded the number 16 and the number 19 pick for the first round in this year, and of course also the number 194, which is the sixth rounder.
Right.
And the Eagles get back the 18th pick from the Saints. Their third and seventh round, 101 and 237. And then they also get a first rounder for next year and a second rounder for 2024. So not only did you essentially,
Yeah.
you essentially gained, if you look at it this way, you essentially move up from
Mhm.
19 to 18, right?
Sure.
And you trade, whatever, the sixth to the seventh. That's not a big deal.
Right.
That's, nothing. But you essentially then trade that 16th pick
Hmm.
for a third rounder this year, a first rounder next year, and a second rounder the following year. That's good value.
That's a good haul.
That's
Yeah.
great value, in fact. So I'm super happy that Howie was able to pull off this trade. Again, I know this was something that they were looking to do, and
Mhm.
yeah, they kind of went a little earlier than people probably thought, but still, great trade by the Eagles. I know it's kind of, I think, a little bit of mixed reviews so far on social media, just maybe because
Well, I think
everybody.
a lot of people just instinctively, whatever Hallie does, immediately just all over it.
Yeah, there's that. Or also, the fact that I think a lot of people were super pumped to have three first rounders this year,
Sure.
considering the needs of the team and how quickly they could hopefully get addressed with three first rounders. So, uh, yeah,
Right.
like I said, so right now they have 15 and 18 in the first round, and you know what? I think this is a perfect thing for where Howie could use that extra third we just got. Maybe package that up with the 15th round or the 15th overall pick, and maybe move
Hmm.
up to say 10 to the Jets. And if a Sauce
Just
Gardner,
say like it's Sauce Gardner. Yeah.
right, somebody like that falls, boom. You end up with top talent CB, which is something we need. And then you obviously end up still with the 18th pick to grab whatever other position you want. But speaking of,
Sure.
I officially have lost all hope that my pipe dream, excuse me, my pipe dream of getting a linebacker just died with this trade. Um,
Most likely.
Most likely. So sucks, but what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. I think the Eagles were looking like, and anybody who thought maybe they'd get a linebacker in this year's first round. I think you looked at the fact that they had three first rounders. There's such a glaring need for the team at linebacker and good guys that would fit right into those spots. It seemed like the perfect storm that if it was ever going to happen, like this would be the
Yeah,
time.
you have three picks.
Right. So it was like a luxury pick. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But yeah, unfortunately, a little piece of me died tonight. Not saying that I'm not happy with the trade because I am. Ultimately,
Sure.
I am. I think this is the right move. This gives them a little insurance for moving forward at the quarterback position. Should Hurts, ultimately not be the
Sure.
guy, and considering the quarterback draft class for next year is supposedly supposed to be so much better.
Oh yeah,
There's
leaps and bounds.
a bunch of good guys coming out,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see if we need it, and if not, then we'll help to add some youth and plug in some more holes. So either way, I thought this was a great trade for them. So, but yeah, so the
Yeah, and I'll
Eagles.
say this: he may not be done.
Oh
This may
no.
not be the last move in this.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I think this sets up perfectly for them to use that extra third they just got,
Sure.
with the 15th pick, and be able to move up a few slots to grab a guy who might be falling on draft night.
Right. Oh,
And
absolutely.
there's been a lot of talk lately about Thibodeau, the edge rusher from Oregon, slipping potentially out of the top 10. Howie and the Eagles love their
Right.
D and O lines, love the trenches. So I could certainly see something like that. Obviously, I think we both are hoping if they do trade up, it's somebody for like, Gardner if he's
Yes.
or a Hamilton if for whatever reason he slips that far.
Right.
Um, So yeah, I think this puts them. Howie's always stressed flexibility,
Hmm.
and I think this gives them great flexibility heading into the draft. We got almost 3 weeks
Yeah, 3 weeks till draft. Yeah.
draft, and yeah, I'm getting excited. This certainly kind of came out of nowhere, as there weren't usually there's you hear some rumblings of certain moves potentially being talked about, but this kind of just came out of the blue, which is not surprising. I know how he's constantly working. So yeah, we'll see if there's any other moves heading into the draft. I think more likely draft day, draft night. There will
Sure.
be some wheelings and dealings, and potentially, who knows? Maybe he moves up to 10, and then maybe takes that 18 and moves back to 20 something. Pick up more picks. That's the kind of thing Howie is certainly known for. So strap in, because we certainly could see a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, so I thought this was great. I honestly, I thought they really took advantage of the Saints.
Hmm.
And also, what's great is I think the Saints are gonna be kind of shitty this year. I
I do
mean,
too, and it's funny. I heard a couple guys today, well, in the hour or so since the trade, say
right,
that this is a move that the Saints are kind of saying they think they could be pretty good this year. They could win the NFC South. I don't see it. That's just me. I mean, granted, I guess if Tampa Bay takes a step back, even though Brady is coming back, who knows really how good they're going to be. Like, yeah, that division becomes winnable if the Bucks do take a step back. But who is the Saints quarterback? And all this talk is that this is about getting ahead of the Chargers and wanting to get an offensive tackle. Maybe it is, but you know how many times I've speculated, in the last couple months about the Eagles trading back with somebody, and one of the possible trade partners being the Pittsburgh Steelers and potentially moving up to get a quarterback. Well,
sure,
what if the Saints have been thinking that, thought, well, why don't we take that trade partner away? We go up and trade up with the Eagles, and we can go get that quarterback,
right,
preemptively stopping the Steelers. And dude, the Steelers ain't going to jump in front of them, because guess who picks right before the Eagles at 14? The Baltimore Ravens. How
right.
much do you think they're going to be anxious to help the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, yeah, exactly. Not at all. Not
Right.
at all. So,
So
yeah,
I do think it's a smart move for the Saints. Like, if they're targeting a quarterback, I think it could work out for them.
it
Yeah.
have to be targeting the quarterback. I think you select anybody else there, and I think that was a dumb move,
Well,
because
or could it be to get an offensive tackle, thinking you've got to get ahead of the Chargers in order to pick the next best offensive tackle? That's been another move. That's been another speculation. That's the main one I've heard. But
yeah,
I'm the one spreading
I,
the quarterback rumor.
I hear you,
Yeah.
but I think if
To me, I think there's so many offensive tackles in this draft that
I mean,
why not
tell
just let the
now,
team in front of you? And why don't you wait till draft night then to see how the draft's
right,
falling?
exactly. That's the only thing. I think in a
Yeah.
scenario like that, you wait till draft night for
Mhm.
this. For a quarterback, that's
You
when
make your move when you can.
that's when
Yeah.
draft moves are made prior to the draft. I mean, the Eagles
Right.
did
I
it
agree with that.
themselves. The Rams did it. We did
But
it
Rams, Eagles, Niners, the
right
last two trades that have been done
prior.
before draft night have been about getting up to get a quarterback. And I think this is no different. I think this is all about getting either Willis, if they think he's going to fall, or
I think
Pickett.
I think they like Pickett from what I've read and what I
Yeah.
heard, and I think he's most likely going to be there. I think there's potential that Willis could go in the top 10. There's a couple
Yeah.
options.
I could see Willis in Seattle. Like, that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it,
Mhm.
I've heard Detroit, I've heard
Sure.
Seattle, I've heard Carolina. Um, there's a couple of teams that wouldn't mind pulling the trigger on Malik
Or
Willis.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Atlanta, yeah, that's another one.
Mhm.
But I feel like there hasn't been a lot of buzz on Pickett going in the top 10.
Right.
Willis already have been selected. What's up, Seamus? How's it going,
Hey,
pal?
Seamus.
Yeah, so yeah, actually, speaking of Seamus, I'll tell you more details later. But
Yeah.
me and Seamus are gonna have a little chat afterwards uh,
Okay.
about maybe a potential live show somewhere. You never know.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Um,
interested.
yeah. Speaking of live shows, we are
Yes.
hammering out the details of our off-season roundtable #2 live at the Berwyn Tavern. We are just confirming time and date with them, and once we have that information, I think I'll actually make like one of those Facebook event kind of things. Just to
Ooh, get all fancy with it.
yes, shoot it to every single person that I know.
Yes.
And yeah, hopefully, if we get the similar turnout the last
Yeah,
time.
Seamus, you got to come out this time. That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, we came up your neck of woods last year.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to be doing that again.
Definitely. Sometime post-draft, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, so we're excited about that. Stay tuned for details on that. We will post them as soon as we get them. But yeah, so the Eagles are making moves. I think Howie got a good haul back. He really set himself up not only for next year, but getting an extra second in 2024. That's super helpful too. Especially
I think that's a real underrated move there. That gets you another look. That's another chip that, again, if you decide next year you want to go get a quarterback, say Jalen doesn't work out, like that's another chip you can then use in that move to try to go up and get the quarterback. Say like that pick. Say the Saints are pretty good next year. Say that pick's like in the 20s, and our pick is somewhere in the teens. And you're like, man, we really got to get up there to go get our quarterback. Well, you sweeten it by saying we can throw in an extra second in that
right.
In the next year's draft. Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles essentially traded away 2 firsts and a 6, got 2 firsts back, a second, a third, and a 7th.
Right.
And it's not like these are top 10 picks that are being traded around this year. I think the potential for getting a top 10 pick is pretty decent, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Saints have what they have Winston at quarterback. I think they just signed what is Andy Dalton?
Oh, the redhead rifle.
Yeah, right. Sean Payton's gone. You don't know what you're getting with Michael Thomas, if he's coming back or if he's just going to be hurt again. They lost their best offensive lineman. I mean, again,
that's why the speculation is that maybe this move is for them to get a tackle. But I still think that if that was the move, if that's what they were targeting is just getting ahead of the Chargers, they would wait till draft night and make a move to get ahead of the Chargers.
Yeah, Seamus loves his trade.
I agree with you, Seamus.
Yeah, no, I think I'm really glad. I'm really glad that they did this. I think this was a smart move on paper. Sure, again, you don't draft well, it ends up blowing in your face. But
well, sure, if you don't draft well, like none of this works anyway.
We're right. But now I think again, I think this really hones in on potentially who they're going to draft. In a couple of weeks. I think, like I've been, I just kind of said, I think this kind of eliminates the pipe dream that I have of potentially taking a linebacker.
Yeah.
I think 3 first-round picks, considering the additions you just had, I think it was a little bit more of a luxury. But again, I think it was something that certainly could have happened. Now I think that's out, and I think I think it's basically down to 4 positions that they would draft: corner, edge, interior defensive line, and wide receiver. I still think wide receivers in play.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you. One of those 2 picks, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I feel like I've been pretty. Pretty unimpressed on the wide receivers coming out in this first round. I think they all are very similarly talented. Not saying similar players, but again, the talent level is kind of all the same. And I personally can't really make heads or tails of one or 2 guys that really stick out enough for me to say, hey, man, yeah, I would love that guy. Don't get me wrong. If pick 15 and, say Jameson Williams is there, I wouldn't mind it. I certainly wouldn't. He's certainly one guy that I'm getting more comfortable with. Drake London is another guy, and Garrett Wilson. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Olave. Um, I think Burks is more end of the first round type talent. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm still a little kind of wishy washy on what I really want to do wide receiver, and I think a lot of that is the fact of the matter of the last couple of years, the fact that we've drafted so poorly outside of Devontae Smith at wide receiver. You have
Oh,
you
right. And so I think you're a little jaded there. Yeah.
right. So I feel like that's probably a part of it is that I am a little jaded, and I just think I just think I'm kind of a little bit over it as far as wide receivers go.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned Traylon Burks being a back end of the first round guy, and I agree with you that that's probably where he's going to be. I think one of two things is going to happen. Either somebody's going to draft him earlier than expected, we're all going to be shocked by it, or somebody's going to, or when he does go later in the first round, in like 2 years, people are going to be saying, man, what were people thinking? Traylon Burks is a player. I personally like him a lot. He's one of those guys that I would pound the table for, but he's somebody that I like in the idea of like before 2 hours ago, I thought, man, if you kick like that third pick, that 19th pick, and you trade back you stay in the first round, and you get an extra pick in next year's draft, and then like later in the first round, you draft Traylon Burks, I think that's a win. Like that's the scenario I wanted.
I
Yeah.
would be fine, and I'm also fine with
I'd be fine with them doing that now.
the wide receiver pick to the second round. There's the kid from Penn State, Dotson.
Sure. Yeah. I like Jahan Dotson.
Watson is another one I like.
Yeah, Christian Watson. Yeah.
There's a couple of guys there that I honestly wouldn't mind, and even in the third and fourth round, a third round, somebody like an Alec Pierce.
I love Sky Moore from Western Michigan.
Sky Moore, I think he's more of a second, but yeah, I like.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah.
Those are certainly guys that I'm okay with, and I think would be more appropriate to select that in the second round. Whereas I still want them to go defense first round.
Oh yeah, like if you were to get say a Jordan Davis and say I don't know like McDuffie or Booth, yeah.
I'm really starting to like McDuffie.
Me too.
Over Booth, over Elam. He is my third corner right now. Gardner, Stingley, McDuffie.
And pay attention. Wednesday is LSU's senior day.
Yeah,
and so like that will be if the draft stock is going to move on Stingley. That's the day it's going to move.
Yeah, exactly. I think if he has himself a day,
mm-hmm.
I don't think Stingley's in play unless we're trading up to 10.
Right, I agree.
To grab him, I think he has the potential to really kind of put himself out of reach for the Eagles, which it's kind of a double-edged sword there. It's like obviously you want him to have a great pro day because if he looks good, hopefully he plays.
I'd love for him to have a crappy pro day.
He has a crappy day, and you're like, oh man, do we really want to draft this guy? This guy sucks. Like,
yeah, but I feel a lot more comfortable taking him at like 15 or 18.
What up, Stanley? Yeah, Seamus, in some mock drafts, Christian Watson was going late first round. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so is Sky Moore in some mock drafts.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's
all like some of those are just dealer's choice. Like,
right. Yeah, 100%. But hey, real quick, I did want to mention and welcome everybody in from the Painted Lines YouTube channel. We have partnered up with the Painted Lines, which is a fantastic group of guys. All Philly sports. They have basically we're using their YouTube. They're using our Facebook, so we're doing a little bit of a sharing there to kind of help each other out. But yeah, they're a great group. They have this large Discord chat that it's just constantly blowing up. So it's just great to kind of just talk sports with those guys. But if you have not checked them out, please do. You can go to thepaintedlines.com as well. Check out not only some of their podcast shows, But they have great articles and really great stuff going on over there. So please check out the Painted Lines. Not only on their YouTube, you can see us on there, but also some of their other great shows. They do constant shows, especially live reaction after like Sixers games and stuff like that.
I think
Really,
they had something tonight for the reaction from the
yeah. I'm pretty sure they did. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but
Mhm.
so they're a great group of dudes over there. In fact, Eric, you really should. I know you know nothing about social media.
Nothing.
You really
I'm a
should.
traitor to my generation.
Yeah, you really should join the Discord. Maybe I'll shoot you an email.
Okay.
I did, but basically it's just talking sports. It's great.
I like talking sports.
I know you do. That's why I don't know why you didn't sign up originally. But yeah, so it's really cool. So yeah, check them out and welcome, obviously, everybody watching on the Painted Lines YouTube. So thank you. Yeah, so Eagles make a big trade.
If you don't mind, I actually had an idea that came to me earlier today. I had to do some running around. I took off today because last night was WrestleMania, and yeah.
How was that, by the way?
It was fantastic. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm glad you had fun, bud.
Yes. Yeah. For more, check out later this week the TLC podcast.
On Thursday, the TLC podcast.
That's right.
I'm sure you'll have plenty. What is going on here? What is this?
There's some activity behind there.
Yeah, I was wondering what was like in the corner. It was my.
So I heard them. I was running around earlier. I heard Anthony Gargano talking about. Yeah, his idea was having like a foursome that you hang out with for all 162 of the Phillies games.
Yeah, what did they call that? I was listening on a break.
Yeah, I don't remember what they called it.
What they called it, but
yeah,
basically,
I had the idea of coming up with our foursome.
Yeah, 4 Phillies that you would choose to watch every single game with.
Yeah, so I had an idea. 4 former Philadelphia Eagles members that are, obviously still alive and not still playing in the league that you would want to hang out with to watch all 17 Eagles games.
So the criteria is they have to be alive.
Yes.
And they can't be active.
Yes.
And they got to be former Eagles.
Right. And they get any capacity in the organization. So doesn't have to be a player.
Does Frank Gore count?
Sure, I guess he does. Well, no, he never signed his name to a contract, right? You can't put pen to paper.
Theoretically. Maybe you have to be assigned a number.
Okay. Or, because front office guys aren't assigned a number.
I don't want to hang out with any of those nerds.
Yeah, I think we're both going to steer away from...
well, obviously Dawkins has to be on there.
Sure. Yeah, he's on mine as well.
I think Kelsey has to be on there. No, but I can't do current.
Kelsey's still active, yeah.
Damn it. I would love Kelsey. I think
next year when we do this again, Kelsey
Kelsey would be, whenever he retires, he's absolutely going in the West. Oh man, this is tough.
Right?
Because you really want, you really gotta go, all right, you're gonna go for like partiers.
Right, because you're gonna hang out with these dudes. You want to talk football with them.
Tailgate, you party.
Right.
Or do you want more like just interesting people or more, students of the game that would be able to break down stuff? Man. I think I'll go with Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to go with Jaws.
Yeah.
Because
I
like his kind of breakdown of the game and the way he views the game. Man, Freddie Mitchell.
Sure.
For just entertainment value alone.
Yep. Luckily, we have that balance of the crowd. Yeah, you have like the Ron Jaworski, and then you get to see Ron Jaworski and Freddie Mitchell
when it's needed. We'll all party, but then when it's game time, Ron will probably just be like, "All right, fellas, let's go. We're watching the game."
Right. Yeah, he's gonna be that adult in the room that gets us sent.
Ron Jaworski, by the way. Man, honestly, I'm considering somebody like a To.
Sure. I bet you
Again,
he would be fun to hang out with.
entertainment value would
Just
be.
for the stories that he would tell you.
I'm also thinking of John Dornbos.
Mm-hmm.
Again, entertainer.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Make
because when like
you can
you
do
figure you're hanging out during that whole process,
a little
he can do
magic.
magic shows with you.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Hmm.
One last spot, right? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
three.
I think I gotta go To. I just think the
Okay.
ability to not only just to meet him, hang out with him, and
Mm-hmm.
just hear the inside stories of that tumultuous time of his Eagles career, uh,
Sure.
I feel like would be great insight. And then Freddie to kind of back that up. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that's what I'm going. What about you?
All right. So, some of my guy, like, so obviously I'm with you on Dawkins,
Sure, that happens.
and I was gonna say Jaworski. This is what I wanted. I was thinking. I usually always take these things first and take
Yeah,
other.
you really should have this time, huh?
Yeah, I really should have because you took Jaws from me too. But like, I think both Dawkins and Jaws would be great. I'll say Brent Selleck. And my
Oh,
reason, like, he's been like one of those dudes. He's just been an ambassador for the Eagles,
sure,
going around
sure.
doing like, and
I
he's
like
just, yeah, he looks like he's just having fun.
Yeah, I like that.
And the other one, just maybe just because I know him, I've met him and hung out with him a little bit. Brian Westbrook.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
a good mix, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, like obviously, it's hard because we obviously grew up in the
Right.
the 90s and 2000s was kind of how, when our, real love grew. And that those
Sure.
obviously hold a special place for us. And
Hmm.
obviously, then you go further back when you were first introduced to the Eagles and Randall and
Right. Randall's another one that I
Reggie
contemplated.
and
Yeah. Well, but Reggie wouldn't qualify, unfortunately.
well, no, obviously in this
Yeah.
scenario, but I'm saying, that
Right. Right.
was, and that's I think why, I love the debate of the Kelly Green,
Yeah, which that's coming back in 2
people
years.
hate it, but hey, Cheryl, what's going on?
Hi, Cheryl.
And some people again are for it, some people aren't, but that jersey, that color, that means a lot to me because that was when I was really first introduced. That was first game, first practice going up and seeing the guys.
Shame's good polls there. You'll put his up. Yeah.
Oh, Keith Myers, that's a good one.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Trent Cole, yeah.
Brian Dawkins, Selleck. I think Dawkins is going to be on a lot of people's.
I feel like because everyone's just gonna want to get to talk to him, and
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. So again, so I kind of wanted. I thought about putting Randall on there, but
I contemplate him too.
I feel like, and I don't want to sound like a jerk or anything, but now he's like pastor, and I think he's very more reserved from what I've gathered through social media.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I just don't know if that would be something.
You know who else I considered?
Joyner.
Well, yeah, Seth Joyner, but Michael Vick was another one I contemplated.
Yeah. Again, the stories he could tell.
Sure. And I'd love to talk to him about everything that happened around the dogfighting ring to get his insight, how much he knew when,
Yeah. No, exactly. There's a lot to unpack there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's a great question. I think I think we should. Speaking of, I was going to say maybe we should put a poll or put up something. We didn't have too many votes, but I won in a landslide for our mock drafts. By the way.
Okay.
100%.
What, were you the only one that voted?
There were like 2 people that voted.
Okay.
I was one of them.
You were one of them. I didn't even see it. I didn't vote.
You didn't even vote, so that was your fault, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, another good nominee there by Seamus.
Yeah. I think one of the people that are kind of still involved in a way like a Seth Joyner, like
Like there. Yeah.
Jaworski, like Barrett Brooks.
Hmm.
I think are interesting because they're still involved. They still break down the game. They still have that insight, not only as a former player, but now as a kind of an analyst that I think would be great to have to
Yeah,
watch.
they're still really close to the game. They're not. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not just fans at that point anymore.
yeah, right. Yeah, no, 100%. So, um, well, maybe you could add Chip Kelly to that.
I mean, he's a little busy with his UCLA job,
Yeah, but
but
he's not active in the NFL.
no, he's not. No, he's not. You could, yeah. I mean,
You have your games on Saturday. You come on
yeah.
out
And
Saturday, right?
if he lost on Saturday, you could taunt him the whole time while you're hanging out with him.
I just would have so many questions. So
Yeah.
many questions for him.
Yeah, like what the hell happened?
Yeah. Actually, just one. What the hell happened?
Well, I mean, to me, it'd be like, how did you get chased out? Because it's not like his record was terrible. Like, I thought he was going to get an opportunity to get it turned around the next year. And,
Yeah.
but, I mean,
it was a little bit of a shocker. So, but yeah, no, I think that's a great question. Yeah, but no, Kelsey has a reserved spot.
oh, yeah, Kelsey's reserved for when he retires. Yeah. He
100%.
immediately, who do you bump out for Jason Kelsey next year?
Honestly, I might just go with the all-party mix and kick Jaws out.
Understandable. And just be like, look, we know a lot about football already. Bye,
Yeah,
Jaws.
you guys are pretty good. So you have Dawkins, you have Freddie Mitchell, you have Kelsey,
And
and then you have
T.O.
T.O. Man, that would be entertaining. Can you imagine
Yeah,
getting?
I gotta be honest. I think the guy I would kick out would probably be Westbrook when Kelsey comes in.
Yeah,
You know, and I feel like if I get a chance to see him again, I will let him know that would. But I think he'd probably agree with me that I should have Kelsey over him.
yeah, probably. I mean, think about that. Showing up at 8 a.m. at the tailgate with those four.
Oh God. Yo, I know. Imagine that. Like, Dawkins, Owens, Mitchell, and who was the other one?
Kelsey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kelsey. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're just like, hey guys, so we're all here to party.
We're here, ready to party. Seamus says to Chip Kelly, why did you trade or release our best players?
Sure, that would be a question.
That'd be one of them. Yeah.
Did you really release Deshaun Jackson because he threw away one of your protein shakes?
Yeah. Or why did you blame it on gang violence?
Yeah, right.
That's funny. Yeah, that's really yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, no, I heard that earlier on 97.5 about the Phillies, and
yeah, right away got me thinking about
I think as far as the Phillies, I'd have to go the all-party team too.
Yeah, the 90. I think I'd just go with like members of the 93 team.
Well, you go Crucker, you go Burrell for sure.
Oh God, Pat Burrell, absolutely, yeah.
I would say Dykstra, but I feel like Dykstra's kind of creepy at this point.
Yeah.
And probably we'd just be like,
you're a jerk, dude.
No way, bro. So yeah, I'd have to think about the Phillies one, but yeah, no, the one's
well, the Phillies one is. I feel like that would be different because it's 162 games. As much as we love to party, like you're gonna be able to party 106. Dude, I'm telling you, it's
with Pat Burrell and Crucker, you will. You'll just get used to it. You'll build up the tolerance. You throw in like Charlie Manuel just because that's got to be a great time.
Okay, yeah.
And then you throw in one of your favorite 2008 players, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, probably Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy would probably be pretty cool to hang with.
Yeah. But anyway, so let's get back to the Eagle.
Okay.
Yeah. So also actually before we do that, just a reminder, everybody, if you are looking for a fantastic watch, high quality, within a decent budget, head on over to La Terrain Watches. That's www.la-terrain.com. You can see it scrolling down there. And if you type in code PSA at checkout, you will get discounts, site-wide discounts. They have not only do they have watches, they have like sunglasses. They got other accessories. They have watches for men, watches for women. I personally got the Atlas in all black. It looks so dope. I highly recommend it. I think Ryan from the Philly Broadcast went out and got himself a couple of those watches. So yeah, it's highly, highly recommend La Terrain Watches. They are the official sponsor for the Philly Sports Alliance. So check them out. Throw that code on PSA and save a little money. All right. So with the draft coming up, there is still time to potentially sign some more free agents, obviously.
Sure.
There has been rumors linking this person, that person, whatever. Right now, if you could only sign one free agent, what position right now would you do, knowing that we have only 2 first-round selections, knowing what we know right now? What are you doing?
I'd want to sign the best wide receiver that there is out there.
Okay. Well,
and my reason being, you cited it earlier, talking about the recent history of the Eagles, sans Devontae Smith, drafting wide receivers.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I sadly 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect route to go. You get somebody in here as a number 2. It doesn't eliminate the fact that you couldn't draft one in the 2nd or the 3rd round, but it solidifies your offense. Now, obviously, it seems like they wanted to go pass heavy in the beginning of last year.
Sure.
It wasn't working, right? And they slowly, kicking and screaming, transitioned to a run-heavy offense, and it worked.
Sure.
It worked great. And they were one of the best running teams in the league. I would hope that they continue that to rely on the run, but get Jalen some help, and slowly maybe instead of 70-30 run to pass, maybe you make it 60-40, and you slowly kind of introduce more passing into this offense. Because
unfortunately, it is a passing league, and you're not built to sustain long-term success when you're counting on the run to carry your offense.
100%.
I mean, unfortunately, that's just the reality of the game today. Now, there might be situations in which running the football is the right move, and it just, you become so dependent on, you have to get a lead early, because running first teams can't come from behind. Because of the style of the offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And I think that's the one thing that really truly hurts them, is when they do get down, then they have to rely on it, and then the defenses are keying on it, and they know exactly what's coming. Well, as long as they're covering the first or second read, and they're good. Jalen wasn't able to really get past that other than run around.
Right. And so that's why, like, a game like that first Giants game in New York, you weren't able to come from behind and win because you didn't have a reliable passing game when you fell behind. Because the Giants were trying everything they could to give you that game back, and almost still did.
They almost did. But you're 1,000% right. So I think, again, I'm just going to use Landry as, just because I know he's still out there and would fit as a nice compliment to Devontae Smith. You sign somebody like that, right? It pretty much takes wide receiver off in the first round, most likely. I mean, with Howie, you really never know.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up on me. I can't. Okay.
Oh. Can you hear me now? Hello? I think
not really.
I think you're the one breaking up, because my screen, you're all effed up, bro.
My screen, you were just all effed up, bro.
Well, on the main screen, so bro. Ah. Anyway,
Is it all of a sudden Tuesday night?
what's that?
Did it all of a sudden switch to Tuesday night? Did I skip ahead to Tuesday night? And we're
You
on the
might have.
Burrowcast.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of bros getting thrown around. Yeah, if you draft or you sign somebody like a Landry, it really, kind of gives you more options in later rounds to where if you want to go ahead and get a wide receiver, you still can because, honestly, outside of Watkins, what's there? It's Rager, who's been disappointing for 2 years. You hope that he is able to step up. But if not, you draft somebody in the second or third round, there's not as much pressure. You can kind of come in as the fifth or sixth wide receiver with Pascal and see what you have. But then there's the other thought process of, well, they re-signed Greg Ward. If they sign somebody or if they draft somebody, that's a heavy room. You're going to be getting rid of some people that you probably don't want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Hightower, Greg Ward, obviously JJ's got to be gone.
JJ's gone.
Right. So, it puts yourself in a little bit of a dilemma. Should you sign somebody and then maybe potentially draft somebody? So, I think I would rather have them sign somebody like a Landry, who would be a clear-cut number two, above Watkins, but still let Smith be the guy.
Right.
And yeah, Seamus actually brings up a good point. Did you guys hear about Jalen Hurts was recruiting AJ Brown to Philadelphia? Yeah, they had a bit of a Twitter back and forth. They're old friends. There's been the rumors of AJ Brown, Brandon Cook, from Houston, and of course DK Metcalf. Should they become available, right? Listen, as much as I would love to have any of those guys on there,
right?
I think the money that has been thrown around this offseason on wide receivers is insane.
Yeah, wide receivers are getting quarterback money.
Yeah, and those guys are in line for the following year to get that money. And I don't know about you, but I really wouldn't want to, even if, say, DK's at 20 million or AJ Brown, that's a lot to give to a wide receiver. I'm sorry. It just is. And so you're most likely going to have to give up a first to get Metcalf or Brown.
Sure.
I've heard Cook is in the second or third round range. But still, you're going to have to give up an asset, and then you're going to have to pay them a lot of money.
Now, the only scenario I could see, because think about it, if you're thinking that next year you might have to pay one of these receivers $20 million, well, who around the league is going to be in a position to be able to do that? Maybe a team that's got a quarterback on a rookie contract, and the Eagles will. And whether it's Jalen Hurts or insert rookie quarterback next year, then the Eagles would be in position to be able to handle that. But to me, that's just too many variables to be counting on because, look, if Jalen comes out and balls out, then you've got to pay him. And, and then all of a sudden you've got two guys on your roster making quarterback money. And that means, well, granted, you're probably losing Fletcher Cox anyway after this year.
Right. But the dead money hit will be much better come next year. And that's another thing. We still have a crap ton of dead money. So it's not like we're in an ideal cap situation, or where we can afford to take on $25 million in one position. Don't get me wrong. If I thought we were a wide receiver away, a la 2004.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Then it's a no-brainer. You got to go do what you got to do. Yeah.
Do what you got to do. If you getting you a top 10 wide receiver gets you to the point where you feel like you are good Super Bowl contenders, all for it.
And then you worry about tomorrow's problems tomorrow.
Exactly. But we are not.
Yeah. No.
we still need to figure out our quarterback. We still need to add many pieces to the defense. We still need to add some depth to the offense.
And look, and
We
you brought
have
up a great point.
oh,
You brought up the great point. You still had to figure out your quarterback. And if we've learned anything in this league, if you don't have your quarterback figured out, you've got nothing. You're not anywhere. Like,
especially now, more than ever. Like every year that rings truer and truer and truer. There are so many quarterbacks that I would call great or elite in this league than I would have seen 20 years ago, where it might have been a
Sure.
handful, a
And again,
small handful.
you know, the line I always use, there are guys you win with, and then there are guys you win because of. We have a guy who I think Jalen Hurts, he's a guy you win with. And it's a matter of, we got to find out this year, is he a guy you can win because of?
Yeah, I hope, again, I hope we're not put into another situation like last year where we were really hoping to know 100% one way or the other.
Sure.
And I feel like
But I still think if at the end of this year you're still asking, then you already know the answer.
well,
then he's never going to be.
I was just about to say that. I feel like if you're in a similar situation where there wasn't much improvement, you're still, kind of
like
wondering.
If you're still like, he's pretty good.
He's good. He does this well, but he didn't improve. Then yes, you're right. You do not have your answer, and that means that's a no. If you don't have your answer, it's a no to me.
If after 2 complete seasons you have not gotten your answer, then you've gotten your answer.
Yeah. Seamus says, yeah, I would sign a free agent safety or corner. Yeah, I know there's been a lot.
Not mad at that idea. Yeah.
About Tyrann Mathieu. I really don't think it's going to happen. Would I do it? Yes, I would.
I think he helped your defense that much.
I think safety is something that I think we're going to probably, we're going to miss out on the top tier, Kyle Hamilton. I feel like by the time we draft in the second round, we're going to miss out on that next tier.
Kate Kaiser at Penn State.
Brisker, or Jalen Pitre from Baylor. I feel like we're going to miss out on those 3 as well. So then after that, I'm not really in love with any of those guys, or at least enough to where I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, throw them in. We're good. That's why I feel like a safety would be great right now. They made an offer to Marcus Williams, came up a little short. It happens. Yes, I would sign Tyrann Mathieu right now because he's really the only one out there that I really like. Enough to sign at this point. That I feel comfortable being a start.
But, you feel comfortable plug and play. Yeah.
Right. Because Anthony Harris is back. So what's that mean? Either you sign McLeod and run it back, or you have Marcus Epps.
No, thank you.
Right. These all sound like awful ideas, and considering I feel like we're going to completely miss on these first 1 or 2 tiers of safeties in the draft.
Yeah, to the point where either you're reaching for one or you're just missing out on. Yeah.
Right. So I would take him. I don't think it's going to happen personally, but I would 100% take him. I would also see if you can't sign somebody, like a corner to kind of compete, to be that number 2. And if you go ahead and you draft one of these guys that we've been talking about, then then you have some depth. You have somebody that's going to be able to compete for playing time with Maddox and this rookie and
and say whoever you get right now. Say you were to go, like I've been saying, I would love like a Kevin King, but
I'd sign him up right now.
Yeah, say you go get him, and then you draft whoever. Well, okay, you probably sign Kevin King to a 1-year deal, and then he leaves at the end of next year, and you've got your guy in place to take a spot.
Yeah, hell, I'd still sign Steven Nelson. So
sure, yeah.
He knows the system, and you can still draft anybody you like, and it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it doesn't preclude you from.
Exactly, it wouldn't preclude you from going out and finding that starter, and then that basically makes Nelson and Maddox your nickels and your dime corners, which then you're like, oh wow, we actually have some depth.
We're
corner.
we're deep at corner. That'd be a nice thing. Yeah.
Hey, what up, Eric? Yeah, I love that trade today. I got to give Howie credit where it's due. Yeah, listen, I know there's a lot of people out there right now that aren't that nice, and still aren't going to give Howie any credit. Those Howie haters, but yeah,
I think they're blind haters today. There have been times where I've hated on Howie, but this is
sure
Howie do good. Yeah,
we're Eagles fans. That's what we do.
Yeah.
There we go. I heard we are high on our guy we drafted last year, Zach McPherson. That's another guy.
Sure. That's actually a great point.
Or Tay Gowan, who I thought did well in limited time. Who, by the way, might be I think he was the first professional athlete to officially follow us on Twitter.
Nice.
We are Tay Gowan stans.
Absolutely, we're with him. Yeah.
Yeah, we support those who support us.
Yeah, in fact, we'll be getting his jerseys next month.
Hey, Eric, real quick, what number is he?
Don't know. No idea, but I will Google that and I will find out.
You'll have it ready for me? Oh, man, that's funny. Speaking
do you know his number?
I do.
You're Googling it right now?
No, my hands are up.
What is his jersey number?
I just said I do. I didn't say I was going to tell you. That's all. What do you think I'm going to give away? What do you think I'm going to give away that information?
I mean,
I'm definitely not typing it in now.
Oh, I cannot find it. That's not who I'm looking for.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Tay Gowan, again,
First athlete to follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, number 36.
Oh, well, that number's already taken by somebody on our list.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, so speaking of numbers, for any of you who has been following us even before the Philly Sports Alliance, knows that I have been on a quest to get
awesome.
To get a jersey number for every number 1 through 99 an Eagles jersey.
It's good to have goals, kids.
It is good to have goals. I am slightly more than halfway.
I'm not.
I think I have a total of like 56 total jerseys. Now, granted, unfortunately, I have like a couple of Ertzes. I have a couple of Wentzes. I think I have 2 Goddards, 2 Fletcher Coxes.
Well, I have a question. Every one of these jerseys, could you conceivably wear them? Do they fit you right now?
Oh, yes. That's 100% got to be. Yeah, if that was the case, I'm sure.
Okay, because I was going to say, I have a lot of them from my younger days.
Oh, yeah, no. These are all ones that I could theoretically wear out of the tailgate right now.
Okay.
Although not all of them I would, because some of them are embarrassing. Like Jalen Rager. And even more.
Oh, yeah.
J Jaw. That would be my worst jersey.
I heard last year I took that with me to Virginia Beach because I figured that was one you wouldn't care if something happened to it. I wore it. Well, I wore it specifically around my Uncle Nick, who hates JJ Arcega-Whiteside. We hate him, but even before everybody else hated him, Uncle Nick was strong on the vitriol against JJ.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so I have been searching for, granted, there's a lot of players out there that I would love to have a jersey for. There's great numbers out there, but there's also really bad numbers out there.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I'll just pick one at random. Who do I get at number 3? I don't have anybody right now.
Not Steven Nelson?
The best option is go current, which theoretically isn't really current right now.
Right, yeah. If he comes back, maybe that's the move. But
maybe, but like,
I'd still like to give him some time to see somebody better.
Mark Sanchez might be the best one
Oh,
outside of that,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, not Eddie Murray, the kicker.
no. So there's some lean numbers, especially in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Just because of, again, they're mostly, offensive linemen or
40, 42, and I would say 45 are pretty awful.
Yeah. So yeah, I have
not much better.
Coming up on almost 60 total Eagles jerseys. And yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of that I know that I want to get, which is great. But really every year I hope
people Hall of Fame first, and then I'll.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be doing that through my
like
process.
A Red Snaff, yeah.
Yeah, he's on my list too. That's a great one at 44.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, there's some really lean numbers in there, and I hope every year when we draft and sign people that they sign and pick those numbers.
I told you about my Twitter exchange with Hassan.
Yeah. Hassan Reddick, when he signed, he was like, he posts on Twitter, "Hey, what jersey number should I get? Yada yada yada." And I was like, "Oh snap! Like this dude needs to pick either this number, this number." Like,
yeah, we're trying to come up with good numbers that are not.
Right. And he ended up picking number 7.
Which we already got like 3 guys that we can put.
You already have like 3 guys that you could potentially, even if you didn't have a 7, which I have a Jaworski at this point. So it's like
I have 2 number 7s. I'm pretty sure you can guess. Obviously, one of them, Michael Vick. Do you know the other one?
Bobby Hoying.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on, man. Does that jersey fit?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, then it doesn't count.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't going to count anyway. The Michael Vick jersey counts.
That fits. Yeah. So I've also been looking for a way to kind of like display all my jerseys or like put up a hanger or something. Like I would love to kind of even put something up there to where like it gets it out of my main closet and my wife won't kill me about it.
Yeah.
But it's like a cool way of kind of displaying it down here in the old Eagles Nest studios. So one of these days I'll figure that out. But yeah. So honestly, if you have any suggestions for jerseys,
yeah, seriously, you guys know guys like random numbers that are just awful. Like there's nobody.
I also should figure out like to get a photo of all my jerseys in like chronological order. Or numerical order, and post something to kind of show. Because I saw, somebody did that recently with like another set of jerseys, and they were a little all over the place, but still good collection. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. Speaking of, I think I had a point to this at some point, maybe.
Yeah, it's gone now.
I had a point to some point at whatever point. But yeah, it's so yeah. We'll be reaching out, letting you guys know about our live event at the end of this month before the NFL draft at the Berwyn Tavern. We'll be doing a live broadcast with some special guests. Finneran should be there, Ryan from the Philly Broadcast, and some others potentially. But yeah,
I'll see if I have my aunt come on and ask us about females dressing for Eagles games. That was an interesting outtake at our last outing. During your bathroom break, she came up.
I was going to say, I'm going to be 100% honest. I do not remember that.
Yeah. Well, there's probably a lot you don't remember from that night.
Well, that's later, but yeah. But yeah, so we'll be most likely going on around 7 o'clock on Saturday the 23rd. We're still hammering out details, and may move, but we'll once we get that, we'll post that out, let you guys know. We would love for all of you guys to come out, just to kind of sit, hang out, ask questions from the crowd, hang out, have some beers, and just kind of talk a little sports, and then hang out afterwards and drink more beers. So.
We will be up there once again. It'll probably be another 2 a.m. night.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, I will post that out later. I think that's all for us. I had a point, and
but you lost it.
So we're just gonna call it a night.
Could have tied more in this one.
So I want to thank everybody for chiming in. Seamus, bringing the heat tonight. Thank you so much. Stanley, appreciate it. Cheryl, always great to talk to you. I haven't talked to you in a little while. Eric, of course. Eric came out to our last one. We appreciate him as well. And then, of course, everybody, make sure not only do you give us a like, not only on the page, but on each show. And if you could share it with your friends, it really does help just to kind of get us out there. Helps us every little bit. So
can I answer Seamus's question down here?
Sorry. Here we go. Do you have a Sean Considine or a Kevin Turner? You have a Kevin Turner.
I do have a Kevin Turner. I do not have a Sean Considine.
Wait, you do not have a Sean Considine?
No.
Nobody should. Sean Considine was what, 37, right?
Yes.
I think 37 is on my list of things I need. 34, though, is most likely going to be a Herschel Walker.
I have one of those, too.
Yes, you do. But yeah, that's great. Stuff like that is
yes,
I love it. So
yeah,
keep coming with suggestions for sure.
Yeah, definitely, Seamus.
Appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, so we're gonna get out of here. We will talk to you guys next week. Thank you, everybody, again for the love. We do appreciate everybody who supports us. Even hitting that like button takes 2 seconds. The share button, commenting, any little bit, liking the page. Following us on Twitter at Philly Sports PSA.
Yeah, we really appreciate all of it.
Yeah, we're coming close to 2,000 followers on not only on Facebook and of course on Twitter. So we appreciate that. We're also on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitch. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, basically anywhere where you get your podcast. Every little bit helps. Hitting that 5-star, commenting on Apple Podcasts, whatever. Does not matter. We appreciate it. Thank you. Believe me, it really does mean the world to us. So thank you so much. We're going to get out of here. Eric, got anything for us before we head on out?
No.
All right. Got to love the consistency. Appreciate that. So we'll see you guys next week. So for the Football Smack Talk show, I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Only 157 days to go.
That's still a long time.
It is.
Yeah. Maybe in a couple months that'll feel a little better.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm jonesing to tailgate.
Oh, I know.
I feel like I got to go to some night Phillies games and start tailgating at 8 in the morning.
I'm with you.
I mean,
maybe on a Saturday we can go down.
Yeah, I just bought a whole bunch of accessories for the griddle. I have my own tent now.
Yeah, we might be able to make this happen. Let's talk afterward.
We'll figure out maybe a Phillies trip. So
yeah,
just to get that tailgating,
right? Just to get that fix.
For real. All right, well, we're gonna get on out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you all so much, and don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, rate, do what all the internet
blindly follow.
Tell you exactly. Blindly follow. All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you next week. Go Birds.
Go Birds.